How much longer can home prices continue to rise in Orange County, California? We're going to be looking at the Housing Affordability Index that is put together by the California Association of Realtors. And we're going to start by looking at the entire state of California and then narrow it down to Orange County more specifically. Most people I talk to are shocked to learn that despite the record high home values today, it is still more affordable to purchase a home now than it was during the last peak just prior to the Great Recession. Today's level of affordability is very comparable to what we experienced in roughly late 2003. During the last run-up, that was about 3 years before housing values crashed. I'm Tim Hamilton with StellarQuest Real Estate, and if you enjoy watching this video, I would really appreciate it if you would like it by hitting the thumbs up button below. And please also subscribe to our YouTube channel if you like to stay up to date on the housing market. In this video, we're going to look at what happened to the Housing Affordability Index leading up to the last housing market crash. I am in no way trying to predict the future of the housing market or where home prices are headed, and I am in no way stating that what happened last time is exactly what's going to happen this time. After we go through the numbers, I will be talking about a few things that are different this time around that are likely going to create a different result. For those of you who don't know, the Housing Affordability Index is an attempt to calculate the percentage of a population that can purchase the median priced home assuming they have a 20% down payment. If you want to know exactly how this number is calculated, just let me know and I can send you the formula. I wanted to give you a brief history of the Housing Affordability Index before we get into the specific numbers. In roughly 1994, it reached a peak and began dropping steadily until about 2007, which is when we experienced the last housing market crash. As home values declined and interest rates also declined, the Housing Affordability Index began to increase again until it reached a peak in about 2012. Since that point, the affordability index has been dropping again as home values have been rising ever since. So here we are in 2021, 2022 with the record high home values in Orange County and California, but at the same time, the Housing Affordability Index still hasn't dropped to the same level it was back in 2006, 2007, which was the last housing market peak. Now let's get into the numbers. We're going to start by looking at the entire state of California, and we're going to start with the third quarter of 2021, which is the most recent data we have for the California Association of Realtors Housing Affordability Index. So in the third quarter, we reached 24% on the index. And so going back to the years leading up to the last housing market crash, we reached 24% in August of 2003. That number then dropped to 19% by May of 2004 and then started to slowly drop to a low of 11% in the second and third quarter of 2007. And so when we look at what happened to the median home price over those 3 years, the median home price increased by $182,530 in the state of California, which was a 45% increase. Now looking specifically at Orange County, the Housing Affordability Index reached 18% in the third quarter of 2021. Looking back to the years leading up to the last housing market crash, we reached 18% again in August of 2003. By May of 2004, it had dropped to 11% and then remained roughly at that level until the third quarter of 2007. The lowest point it dropped to during that time period was 10%. And so looking at what happened to the median home value during that time period, from August of 2003 to August of 2007, the median home price rose by $212,660, which was roughly a 40% increase in home values. Now we're going to talk about some of the differences between the housing market leading up to the last crash and where we are today. The first thing I wanted to talk about is the fact that there really aren't any more liar loans being made today. Back in the day, some lenders were giving loans to buyers who really were not qualified to purchase. There was a lot less regulations in the space, and lenders really weren't doing enough background investigation and research into these buyers. So this is a really strong aspect of the housing market today, given the fact that buyers are going through a very vigorous qualification process in order to purchase a home. This means they're much more qualified and they are less likely to turn into a foreclosure later. Now, an argument can be made that because these liar loans were being made, it was actually creating excess demand above what would show in the Housing Affordability Index. So there were buyers who were going out and purchasing homes that really shouldn't have qualified for the loan. So this is an argument to be made for the fact that the Housing Affordability Index may not reach the same low that it did back during the last housing market run-up. One factor that is extremely important to keep an eye on is interest rates. Considering we have all-time record high home values, this means the Housing Affordability Index is more susceptible to a change in interest rates. So if interest rates continue to increase, you could see the Housing Affordability Index drop towards all-time record lows very quickly, especially if prices continue to increase in the meantime. And in fact, if you had a big enough change in the interest rates, you could actually see the housing affordability drop to all-time lows simply on the change in interest rates. You don't even need home values to increase at all. We also have a lot less homes on the market today compared to what we had leading up to the last housing market crash. And this supports the argument that the Housing Affordability Index could continue to drop from where it is today, either by increasing home prices or by higher interest rates. And the reason is, with a lower supply of homes available for sale, you need less buyers in the market to support home values or even drive home values higher. Going back to just basic economics 101 of supply and demand, if you have less supply, you don't need as much demand to support that market. Another strong point is we have a large demographic of first-time home buyers entering the market. Millennials are a large generation, and more of them are reaching first-time home buyer age. So we've got a few more years of this generation moving into that prime first-time home buyer age, and it's likely going to continue to support first-time home buyer demand. Thank you for watching. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, please feel free to call, text, or email me anytime. You can find all of my contact information in the description below. If you're in Southern California, I can personally help you out. And if you're located somewhere else, I would be happy to refer you to a really great local agent in your area. Once again, if you enjoyed watching this video, I would really appreciate it if you would like it by hitting the thumbs up button below. And if you like to stay up to date on the housing market, please subscribe to our channel as well.